Hello and welcome back to my channel. As you can see by the title, I'm going to be reading all of the Harry Potter books, and I have never read them before. I've watched all the movies and I would say I'm like a really big fan of Harry Potter, but it feels wrong that I haven't read any of the books, so I am finally about to read them. Always said if I was going to read these books it would be in like autumn time, because I feel like it's the perfect time to read it whenever you're like going from autumn to winter, because Christmas I think is in like most of the books or films, and it just feels like the perfect lead up. But I'm still very much in that like cozy season era. It's still very cold here and it doesn't look like it's going to be spring anytime soon, so I thought I may as well read them now, because I honestly think if I tried to wait until autumn, they're the books that I would only think about for this year, because I'm in such a mood to read them. They're all on Kindle Unlimited as well, so I thought that was really good. So it's just so handy that it's on Kindle. I did actually start the first book a few days ago whenever we were on our way to Amsterdam. I literally just read like the first 10% on the flight over, and then I think I maybe got to like 40% on the way home. I didn't read any while we were actually there on our trip. But so far we've been introduced to like all of the main characters. We've got Harry, Hermione, Ron, Snape, Malfoy, like everybody's just being introduced, and there's something so nostalgic about the writing in this book. And obviously I have like the movies in my brain, but I just feel like the movie was cast so perfectly. But I don't know if that's because I watched the movies and I just know those characters as like Harry Potter and Hermione, etc. But I just feel like so far it is so perfect. You can definitely tell that the first book was written for kids. I mean, it is for 9 to 12-year-olds, and I'm not gonna complain about that. It definitely feels like more a young adult sometimes, and I'm guessing whenever the books go on in the series it gets more dark and it gets a little bit more creepy, and I just feel like anybody could read these books. Like, I am really entertained by the first book so far, and again, I don't know if that's just because I'm such a fan of the movies. I don't know. The very first scene in this book is all of the wizards and witches celebrating because they believe that Voldemort is finally gone, because he has killed Harry Potter's parents but obviously couldn't kill Harry, hence the boy that lived. Everybody's celebrating because they think finally Voldemort is gone, and I mean, as we know, he's going to come back, but we're just being introduced to the story in that way, and I think it's so interesting, even just having those first few chapters, because we don't get that in the movies, and I just love it so much. I feel like there's also so much foreshadowing as to what's going to happen in future books. Like Sirius Black has already been mentioned in this, and I think he's in like the first chapter, which I just found really like insane, because obviously he is a very relevant character in the third book, The Prisoner of Azkaban. So I just love the little hints of foreshadowing or name dropping that we know, if we've watched the movies, that they're going to be really big characters in the story as a whole. So I am 44% into this book, and this is definitely going to be a part 1. I don't think I'll read all the books in this video, but I'm hoping to read at least 3 or 4, and then I don't want to like take a break between these, because I feel like if I just start reading them, I'm just going to want to finish them all in one sitting basically. I don't know why that I'm only realising this, but Dudley's full name is Dudley Dursley, and I just feel like that's horrendous, and it really sums up his character. I just finished Harry Potter and the Philosopher's Stone, and It's just, I loved it so much. Like, there's something so nostalgic about reading this book, even though I didn't read it whenever I was younger. I think it's just, those movies are like ultimate comfort for me. Like, I could watch them any time of the year. I mean, specifically autumn, winter, but honestly, like, I will never get bored of them. I will be 90 years old watching those movies, and now maybe reading the books as well, because I loved all of the things I didn't know that happened like in the book that weren't shown in the movies. Like, there's so much more detail in the book. I mean, obviously I feel like that's always the way. I do feel like, because I love the movies so much, I don't think the books could beat them. But I mean, who knows, they might as the books go on. Like, I love how much more we find out in the book, but I have such a love for the movies that I think they're honestly as good as each other. I think the movies were done so well. But yeah, I really enjoyed reading this book. I feel like I read it super quickly as well, but again, the writing is really easy because it's obviously for 9 to 12-year-olds, but I really feel like anybody at any age could love these books. There's a lot of very like clever writing in this. There's very good foreshadowing, and yeah, I just feel like she knew what she was doing. Like, whenever she sat down to write this book, I feel like she definitely knew what was going to happen in at least the second, third and fourth book. Like, I feel like once we get to the Goblet of Fire, it just feels like a lot of things are foreshadowing that book, like the talk of dragons in this one. And yeah, she just really knew her world and her characters in and out as if they were real people. I think I'm gonna give this one a 4-star because, I mean, I did love it. I really don't think I could fault it in any way, but for me personally, I love like a bit more of the darker side of things, and I really think I'm gonna enjoy the later books. Like, even with the movies, I prefer part 1 and part 2 the most. Like, they're my favorite ones. And Prisoner of Azkaban, I really think Prisoner of Azkaban could be like a 5-star read for me, so I'm really excited to get to that one. Okay, as you saw, I have started The Chamber of Secrets, and how far am I in? I'm 41% into that book, and honestly, all of these books are so quick and easy to read, which I really need right now, because I think I'm in like a life slump. Not even a book slump, but like honestly, it feels like I've been in a book slump since before Christmas. I just feel so anxious for some reason, and I literally don't know why. Nothing's happened, and maybe it's just the new year, and I don't know. I literally have no idea, but I'm feeling really weird at the minute, and I definitely think I'm just in such a life slump because all of the other things I usually enjoy doing, I just don't want to do. Like, even making videos at the minute is really hard, and even though I love doing that usually, but it's so hard to find the motivation to read sometimes. And even doing yoga, I've been to like 1 class this year and I love doing yoga, but every single time I am about to go to a class, I talk myself out of it and then I cancel it. I just don't know what's going on. Yeah. But these books are definitely like more fun to read than any other books I have going on at the minute. I just love again how quick and easy they are to get through. We are 41% into this book, but I feel like not a lot has happened so far. We're still definitely getting to know each of the characters, and there's a little more about Voldemort in this book. Like, it's definitely getting a bit darker, and I do think that each book probably does get darker as the series goes on, because if you've watched the movies then you know. I am loving finding out about like side characters in this book and their backstory a little bit more, because the movie doesn't offer that. So there's the character Filch, and I don't think it really says in the movies kind of his backstory and why he can't do magic, etc. And I just found his like storyline and background really like fun to learn, and it just makes sense to why he's so angry all the time. I totally get it. We also see a lot more from Ginny in this book and movie. I know that Ginny becomes definitely more of like her character, but we definitely see more of her, and even in the first book she definitely talked a lot more than what I had seen. Because I'm feeling so anxious at the minute, I just want to like do all the things that I usually enjoy, so I feel like I deserve a little takeaway coffee today. It says that we have 3 hours and 15 minutes left in this book, and I kind of want to challenge myself to finishing it today. I feel like whenever I'm in a little bit of a slump, I love to set myself like little challenges because I am very competitive. So if I set myself a goal, I will really try to complete that goal that day. So I have 3 hours and 15 minutes left, and that is realistic to do today. So let's try and finish this book today. I ended up having a very non-productive day in terms of reading. I know I set myself this little challenge, but honestly I didn't read at all today, which I'm in just the weirdest mood. I know I was saying earlier, but I'm just definitely in a book slump. I'm not in the mood to like pick up a book, but whenever I am reading, I am enjoying it and I'm really liking Harry Potter so far. It's really hard for me to get in the mood to actually read, and I'm literally exhausted today. Today was just one of those days, honestly. I have felt so anxious and I've had the worst migraine in the world right now. Like even right now, that light is really hurting my head. But I want to read for a little bit. I might read for 20 more minutes and then try and get some sleep, because I'm just hoping that tomorrow I feel better, because as I was saying, today just was not my day. I do have 2 hours and 40 minutes left of this book, so I definitely want to finish it soon. I mean, hopefully tomorrow, but I'm not going to make any promises because I just do not know what to expect from myself right now. Last night I finished The Chamber of Secrets and I once again really enjoyed this book. I honestly feel like I'm going to enjoy all of the books. It's just like almost comparing them to the movies, but I just love, and I think I've said this before, how much more detail you get in the book, and I feel like that's obviously inevitable because you can't put all those details into a movie. It's just so like, it's so fun to read it when you know what's gonna happen, and just all the like subtle foreshadowing throughout, and you can just learn about different characters on a more like deeper level, and it just answers questions that I didn't even know I had about certain scenes and certain characters in the movie, so it is really fun that way. We also got to meet Dobby, and Dobby is obviously a loved character by so many fans of Harry Potter, and I was just loving all of his scenes. I think he's so funny, especially whenever because he only speaks in third person, so he's talking about himself, he will say Dobby did this, and it's just so innocent and so sweet, and I love his character, and I love the ending of this book. Like, not to spoil anything if, you know, somebody hasn't watched it or read it, but it's just very satisfying for those that know. I do think I actually enjoyed this book more than the first one, which surprised me because I'm pretty sure I always said that the second movie was like my least favourite and I didn't really enjoy it that much, but honestly reading it, and I have been watching the movies at the same time, so I'm about halfway through the movie, I'm starting to enjoy it way more, and I think that is because you just know all the background stuff that is going on that the movies don't show. And I know I think that I prefer The Chamber of Secrets, but I don't know, I'm gonna have to see at like the end of these videos of me finishing the whole series what my true opinion is on all of them, and then maybe we can rank them. I'm really excited to get into Prisoner of Azkaban, which I will hopefully start today. I do think that I will read it quite quickly because, as I said, this is like my favourite movie, so I'm assuming it could be my favourite book. I'm trying to see how long this one is. I think they get longer as they go as well, so it could take a little more time. It says here that it is 475 pages and my estimated time is 6 hours and 46 minutes, so that is like a little bit long, but I feel like it's not too bad. I know that the last book, or maybe no, it's not the last one. Is it Half-Blood Prince? Oh, it's not. It's the one that I know that I don't like that much, and it's with your woman in the movie that wears the pink and she's from the Ministry of Magic. I hate her character so much, but I know we're meant to hate her. I think that one's the longest book. For some reason I'm forgetting the name. But anyway, I am going to be starting this one today, and I will of course update you whenever I do have a proper opinion on the book. As for the last one, I think I would still rate it a 4-star. I think that's what I gave the first one as well. None of them are giving me like 5-star feeling, but I don't know if that's because I know what's going to happen and I know what to expect. My ratings might be different if I maybe didn't know and I was reading it and learning about the story for the first time. Like a 4-star is a strong rating, and yeah, I'm just really happy to be finally reading the series. I feel like I've waited way too long. Like, I'm 24 years old and these books came out before I was born, so I've definitely waited too long. So obsessed with Ron and Hermione in this book. Like, I just think they're so funny. Obviously, like, we know their situation at the end of the books. I don't want to say too much just in case there's somebody that doesn't know, but I just love their relationship and dynamic in The Prisoner of Azkaban. Like, they really kind of hate each other. Well, Ron really does not like Hermione in this book, but I just think it's so funny, honestly, like just watching them. And I'm actually not sure what age they are. They must be about 14 or 15 in this book. But yeah, I'm just envisioning obviously like the actors from the movies, and I love Ron and Hermione so much. I love Harry as well, but I just really love Ron and Hermione's characters, and I think they're brilliant in this book. It's just, yeah, it's very enjoyable to read. It's definitely my favourite book so far out of all of them, and it may be my favourite one overall. I do love this movie. I've probably said it a million times. I do feel like I've been recording this video for so long, so I don't even know what I've said already, but I really like this. I'm really enjoying reading this, and I think I might be able to get it done tonight, so I'm going to sit and read for the next wee while and see how far we get. I think it says that we have maybe 3 hours left of reading in the book, but I think I can do it quicker than that. I like to try and beat the little timer that it gives you on Kindle. Let me see. It says 3 hours 38 minutes. Maybe we won't get it all done, but we'll definitely be close to finishing it, and we will 100% be finishing it tomorrow if we don't do it today, because I feel like I have been doing this video for far too long at this point. I've just been in the biggest slump, and these are the only books I'm in the mood for, and it is currently March. That's why I haven't been uploading videos, because I've been going like a week or two without reading a single word from a single book. So that is why this is taking me forever. It's not the book's fault. I don't know. I think it's maybe a New Year thing. I honestly have no idea, but I do feel like this is the month. I'm hoping that I get my reading mood back, and yeah, there's just a lot that I want to read, so I need to just dedicate some time to it and really get into books, you know. I feel like I'm never going to be in a reading mood if I'm only dedicating like 10-15 minutes a day to reading. I need to really just sit down and get into a book. Sorry, I feel like the camera angle is all over the place because I'm just waving my hands everywhere, but yeah, that's where we're at with Prisoner of Azkaban. I feel like all the drama of the book is really about to unfold at the minute, and I'm looking forward to it. Obviously, I know what happens, but I'm going to continue reading and I'm going to stop yapping, and I will let you know my opinions whenever I hopefully finish this book tonight. It honestly makes me laugh because obviously, like, in this book, somebody is potentially, possibly, most likely trying to kill him and is like going out of their way to try and kill him, but all he can care about is like the Quidditch game or going to Hogsmeade with his friends, and he like really doesn't care that he is always under threat. And it's just like, I don't know, it stresses me out. I'm like, can you please be serious for 1 second? But I feel like it really shows the young boy that he is. Like, all he cares about is like being with his friends and not being left out of things and wanting to win the Quidditch Cup. It really makes me laugh because it'll like go to a really serious moment of like this guy trying to kill Harry, and he's like, oh, but like I don't want to miss Hogsmeade, which is like a school trip with his friends. Like, seriously, Harry, get your priorities straight. It's stressing me out, okay? I love Sirius Black. He's just like, I think he's one of my favourite characters in all of the movies and now books. It's just, I love him so much, and I really love the actor that played him as well. So it's really nice watching the movies first because I can really envision it all so well, and I love him so much, and I love this book. Honestly, like, this could be a really high 4 stars, maybe 5-star read for me. I also feel like Peter Pettigrew was cast so brilliantly. Like, I don't know, I just feel like he is the perfect actor to play him. If you know, like, just like his appearance and how he acts, his character is so perfect to the book. And yeah, I'm really enjoying it. I'm very satisfied with this book so far. I obviously didn't finish it all last night. It is now 8 in the morning, and it says that we have an hour and 20 minutes left to read this book, but I think I can do it in like an hour maybe. So I'm going to maybe read for an hour. I might have time to. We are meant to be getting some work done to our house today, and he said that he'll be here between 8:30 and 9:30, so I don't know. I'm not sure when he will arrive, but hopefully 9:30, because then I will be able to read for longer, because I'm assuming he's going to be really loud because he's working on our bathroom. So I'm gonna try and get as much in as possible in the next hour. Definitely want to finish it before work, which is very possible because I don't start until 12:45 today. So we're definitely finishing it today. This has been a long time coming, it feels like, but yeah, I'm excited. I also feel like a big part of this book hasn't happened yet. Like, I don't want to say too much, but we're 85% in, and there's still like a big thing that needs to happen, but maybe it's kind of skimmed over in the book, but it's like my favourite part of the movie, so I don't know how they're gonna execute it in the book, I guess. I just finished The Prisoner of Azkaban, and that was 100% my favourite book so far out of the series. Like, there's just something it's just so nice about it. Like, the writing is amazing, the foreshadowing in this book, like from the very first page, I feel like there's foreshadowing to the whole story. I just feel like she wrote in a very clever and smart way. Like, this book was definitely researched so much, you know, before she actually like wrote the first words down. I feel like she really just knew how this story was gonna go, and I honestly feel like from the first book she must have known how she wanted the whole series to play out, because there's just so many hints to like different characters and plot points that happen in like the later books in the series, which I just think is crazy because my brain could never like come up with, first of all, a whole world, a whole magic system, and then all of these detailed realistic characters. Like, she is a very talented writer, and it really shows in this work, obviously. I'm gonna stop this video here because I feel like I think it's like 80 minutes of content so far, and I don't want this video to be really long, so we're gonna put it into 2 parts, and hopefully I will get the next part out within the month. I'm not making promises though, because as I said, those books are chunky, and I really want to get a video out because this month, like February, was a very slow month, even January as well. Like, I just really haven't been reading at all apart from these books, and even still it is taking me a long time, but I finally feel like I am in a little bit of a reading mood, so I might take a small break from Harry Potter and try and get another video out for you guys, so stay tuned because I'm definitely posting this month. I refuse to do what I did in January and February, and yeah, I really want to keep on posting for the people that do watch. I really think that could have been a 5-star read. I don't know if it's like a 4.5, but I might just round it up to 5 because honestly it is such a good book. Like, I can't fault it in any way at all, so I think this one's 5 stars. I would maybe say the first one was now a 3-star. I can't even remember what I originally gave it, but I would say a 3-star for the first one, maybe like a 4 for the second, but maybe more like 3.75 if we're being picky. And this one was definitely closer to a 5-star. I just feel like the writing is amazing, and yeah, the way she story tells is very, very clever and very satisfying for the reader. So yeah, that is the end of part 1 of reading the Harry Potter series, and I will see yous in the next video, or part 2, which hopefully won't be too long. Definitely, hopefully, maybe within the next month I'll work on it and I will get it out for you as soon as possible.